Hi, I'm Melanie. Welcome back to the channel. How are you? So today I want to talk about our soul purpose and how I think we can easily overthink that, like get almost obsessed with it. I know I did to a certain extent, especially when you do have a spiritual awakening and you come into the realization that you have had your awakening, perhaps because you need to be guided to your soul's purpose. Then you sort of worry that you're not doing it right, or that you still haven't found it, try as you might, or even worse still, that you are somehow feeling as if you're letting the divine down, or that they're being impatient with you. And those last 2 points are not true. You can't let the divine down, and they have nothing but patience for you. Those two sort of concepts is like born from our ego, from our mind level. So we can put our worries to bed there. And I believe for me personally, that my awakening was to trigger me onto my soul purpose. I know that my life had gone off on the wrong track, not in a bad way, not in a negative way. I just mean that I was not aligned to my original blueprint, my original soul's desire. And I feel as if I needed to undergo a spiritual awakening to sort of snap me back on track. And I think Archangel Michael actually was with me on that one, and of course still is, as he is with everybody. He has a lot to do with the awakening process and following your soul purpose. Those two are sort of intermingled. So, but it did not have to be this great, drastic, aha, I must go out and save the world, or I must go and be famous or something, or I don't have to, it's not that I'm supposed to be finding a cure for cancer or anything major like that. And also, and I think this is a big point to bring up, we don't necessarily even have to know what our soul purpose is. Our soul purpose is, well, for one thing, there's more than one. There's probably a countless amount of purposes we're supposed to be fulfilling. But neither do they have to be so major that they're little things, and they're even little tiny breadcrumbs where one thing leads to another, and you may not even realize the effects you are having, and you may not realize you are fulfilling your purpose based on that butterfly effect concept. If a butterfly over there flaps his wings, and he could be causing a hurricane over there, or maybe a wider distance, but you know what I mean. So what I mean is that one simple act of kindness that you did today could have a complete unintentional effect with some kind of ripple effect that could affect someone's life in a big deal on the other side of the planet. It can be fascinating if you allow our minds to really go there. So I did want to express that point. And so I think we can find ourselves getting frustrated and upset that we are not following our life purpose, or that we worry that we are not, or we don't know how to. And I think really that's what I want to get across today, is the how to. And I've said this in all of my videos so far, all but one, I think, is that all we are being asked to do is follow our hearts. Our hearts is the receiver from spirits. It is our intuition. And if something feels right in our hearts, then it is the right direction for you. likewise, if something feels grippingly wrong, especially as you move down into your solar plexus, you know, that gut feeling, if something feels grippingly wrong, then you know, hopefully, to listen to that and to realize that is what you're feeling. If you take the time to sort of relax and stop and lean into these feelings, then hopefully you know that you could be guided away from that direction. Following our heart is the same as following our intuition, but you do need to give it time. It's not like, oh, you know, I don't know, like right now my heart could be saying, oh, I need to eat 2 pounds worth of chocolate. All right, because there is a part of my heart that wants to say that. So that's not going to do my body any favors, and I'm not going to like it later if I do go ahead and eat all that chocolate. So we do have to discern the difference. We do have to discern the difference between what's truly in our hearts from an intuitive level, and from what our ego and what our brain is just trying to tell us, trying to talk us into, and just say, come on, this is what your heart wants to do. But when we truly follow our heart from an intuitive point of view, you're feeling a sense of, you're relaxed. It's a very relaxed feeling, to where you probably might even notice your shoulders drop down, and it just feels very peaceful. Following our intuition is supposed to bring like an instant inner peace feeling. That's actually what a yes feels like, what an intuitive yes feels like. It's just a... Now if you imagine the idea of, oh, okay, go ahead and have that 2 pounds of chocolate your heart wants to, notice that if you say that to yourself, and it is subtle and it takes time, but notice as you say that to yourself that your heart is actually protesting a little bit. It's a physical feeling. It's instant. And that there is like a tightening going on. Just subtle. Right? You know, from a metaphoric, not necessarily physical, but like it's a metaphoric feeling that it just doesn't, it feels restrictive. It feels restricted. So that's your heart saying no, despite your mind trying to like, come on, eat that chocolate. So hopefully that makes sense. And how that relates to your soul's purpose, well, you just gotta follow your heart on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to be thinking, oh, I want to be a musician, so in 5 years' time I need to have achieved this, this, and that. I need to have mastered that instrument. I need to have learned how to sing. I need to master rhythm and timing, and I'm going to give myself 5 years because that's my soul's purpose. For one thing, if it's your soul's purpose, you don't have to map it out, because maybe you're so into your music that you can't. For me, it's the guitar. This is why I'm using music as an analogy. I love it. For me, when I first picked up the guitar, I could not put it down. So I did not have to map it out. If anything, I had to be reminded that I still had a family and they still needed to eat. And I had to be mindful of the time, watch the time, so that I could go do human things with them. But I was so obsessed that time flew. Time did not exist literally in that moment, which is another, another sign that if you get so carried away that you don't notice the sign, that the time, then you know that you are aligning with soul. You're following your purpose. Following your purpose is aligning with soul. So I know that I don't have to map it out. And if I want to maybe get professional gigs in 5 years' time, to a certain extent, that's my ego taking over, thinking, well, if I could be that good enough, then perhaps I should be able to make it as a side hustle. My ego still agrees with that. I would not mind that. I think I would love that idea for myself. But I also am consciously aware that that is coming from my mind and ego. It's one thing may lead to another, or I could change my mind. I don't know. I don't have to know. I just know that's how I feel now. But I don't have to know what my soul's plan is. All I know is that I am enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the practice. I don't have to make sure that I make time to practice. I do now, but when I first picked up the instrument, I did not have to make it a mindful point to practice because that's all I wanted to do. So, and that's even a big outlandish, like crazy, not crazy, but you know, a wow example of a life purpose, because your life purpose could just be in the subtle little things. It's you know, for lunch today I need to make the decision to make sure I don't eat chips and that I eat an apple instead, because I just, in my heart, I just need to feel healthier today. I've been eating a lot of junk, so this is what I need to do today. And for all I know, a butterfly effect could be coming from that. Eating healthier this week could be putting me in a better, refreshed mood for this weekend or the week ahead for something unforeseen. You know, maybe I have to deal with conflict at work, or maybe I have to just, or maybe, you know, something's coming up that I need my strength for. Or, and that's, you know, that's actually an example that's way too soon in the future. Maybe I need to keep myself healthy now because I need to be around another 30 or 40 years, because there is so much more life purpose and so much life learning that I have left to do, and one thing can lead to another, and you know, and I'll pick up hobbies which again will put me on track in the right direction. And then if I find myself trying something, trying to I don't know, try to monetize something, even YouTube, which I'm not at that point yet. I'm a very young channel. There's something gripping in my heart telling me that don't rush it. Don't rush it. The right people will come to find you when the people come to find you. I could tell myself, or I could believe that putting out a YouTube video or starting a YouTube channel is part of my life purpose. But I don't have to know why. My ego might think, oh, I better spread the word and get these messages out to as many people as I can. When really maybe I just need to get it out to one person or 10 people. Or maybe I need to, maybe somehow Spirit is having me gain experience in creating videos for something unforeseen. Maybe there's public speaking in my future, and that's something that doesn't scare me, but I would rather avoid. So I don't know. That's two examples. I don't know. All I know now, all my heart knows now, is that I want to do this. I want to create these videos where I know that there are some souls. It's early days, so hopefully many more to come, but I know there are souls that are watching with me. I like being in the car. I don't have a studio, and I like kind of how the sound and the acoustics work in the car too. I think that's why a lot of YouTubers sit in the car. But all I know is I like doing this, and I imagine actually I'm sitting here chatting with you guys as if you are really here. Now, my soul might have its reasons for why it's guiding me, and I like to think that I have something to say which might help someone. And intuitively, I'm probably right. But my ego is kicking in with that. My ego wants to reward me. My ego wants instant satisfaction. And that's not necessarily confirmation that I'm on my soul's purpose. You see, you just have to do the little things. One thing will lead to another. Just follow your heart. Make sure it feels right within your heart. Don't overthink it. It could be giving the neighbor a compliment. It could be going out of your way to make sure kids get compliments. And obviously there's a butterfly effect right there, because who knows what that little pat on the back can do for their self-esteem and then going forward for their lives ahead. It could be just the tiniest thing. It's your presence. You are fulfilling it anyway, just by your presence, just by being here in your human divine nature. Just from enjoying and existing and being here in this world together. We all have a place. So I really wanted to come up with this video to let you know that you don't have to worry. You don't have to, like I said, you certainly don't have to feel like you're letting spirit down. And in the same sentence, you do not have to feel like you are letting yourself down. That's one and the same from my point of view. Especially when you look it through the lens, as you go through a spiritual awakening, there does come a point when you do resonate with the idea that you are at one with the universe, and therefore all the answers are within you. You're balancing. This is your inner union, where you're guiding yourself to your inner union, and for that you are balancing your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies, to realize that you don't actually even need the validation from the outside world, that the answers are within you. And so the answers are within you when it comes to following your purpose. You haven't woken up in order to consciously and knowingly change the world. I hope you are realizing that you have woken up to know that this is what you're doing anyway. You're just raising your vibration on a positive level, and that, you know, you are changing the world. You're raising the collective up with you. No matter if you know what it is you're supposed to be doing or whether you are not knowing, either way, you are raising the collective up with you. And it's all about just feel it here for your next step. Just even the tiniest little mundane things. Should I go into the kitchen and do the dishes, or leave them till tomorrow? What does your heart say, the yes or the no? Not what your mind says, just what do you need to do in the moment? Tiny things, from the little things to the big major things. So let me know your thoughts or your experiences in the comments. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end if you are here, because it helps this very young channel to grow. It shows that folks are interested. So YouTube algorithms kind of shows the video to more people. And of course with that, so there's the subscribes and the likes. So I appreciate you all for that. And with that, I say thank you and God bless, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.